While clicking a picture from your camera, have you ever wondered that why there are two different image formats, JPEG and RAW? What's the difference between them? Well, after this video, you will surely know the difference between them. So guys, welcome to Review Buzz. I am Puru and today I'll be talking about image formats JPEG and RAW. So if you're coming here for the first time, consider subscribing and press the bell icon to get notified about my every update. Shooting in RAW or JPEG is a dilemma every photographer faces at least once in their lifetime. In this video, I'll provide an answer to this question. RAW files are uncompressed and unprocessed snapshot of all the data available to the camera sensor. As these files are unprocessed, they are generally flat and dark. RAW files need to be processed before display and printing purposes. These images are generally processed using camera software or more robust softwares like Adobe Photoshop or Lightroom, while JPEG images are processed in camera using camera softwares. How these images are processed may vary from a model to model. The basic settings of an image like color, temperature and exposure are set according to the camera settings. The camera processes the image to add brightness, contrast and perform noise reduction like features, and finally renders the image in JPEG format. The JPEG format files are ready to be displayed or can be used for printing purposes. But remember that the image is being compressed. The initial data and information available has been lost and cannot be recovered. You may have heard about the word dynamic range, used a lot often while discussing RAW format versus JPEG format. Now, I will talk about 7 points that can help you choosing the better format for you. First, journalistic shooting. If you are shooting journalistically, means that you are shooting in a condition that changes in terms of lighting, scenes or background, etc. You need to be shooting in RAW, because no one has the ability to get the perfect exposure every time. And also, when you see a person laughing, you don't want to be like, hey man, control your laughter, I'm not at the perfect exposure yet. Also, RAW provides you with the flexibility to fix the exposure settings in post-processing. Second, need more tonal range. If you're shooting landscape, nature or virtually any scene that requires more dynamic range, you need to be shooting RAW, because RAW captures all the information from the camera sensors and you can post-process your image according to your needs. Third, shooting for immediate display. If you're shooting images that you need to display immediately, that you have to display on a similar day of shooting and you don't have the time to process those images, then you must use JPEG format, because JPEG format files are processed within camera and these images are usable for printing purposes. Though they lack dynamic range, but still these images are way better than RAW images unprocessed. If you need post-production flexibility and immediate display of image, you should use RAW plus JPEG, because this format captures RAW images as well as JPEG images. You can use your JPEG image for your immediate display and you can use your RAW file for post-production. Fourth, while shooting for web or while providing low quality images, you must use JPEG file format, because you don't need the perfect picture every time, you don't need the perfect exposure every time, and surely you won't have enough time for post-production of a RAW image that has significantly no use in your life. My suggestion is that while shooting for web or low quality images, go for JPEG file format. Fifth, restricted space. As the prices of storage devices are getting low every day, this should not be a heavy factor in choosing JPEG over RAW. But there are always people like me who pack at last moment and solve for the things that they forget. And if you forget extra SD cards at home, then you should definitely go for JPEG format, as RAW files may range from 40 MB to 50 MB per image. They consume a hell lot of memory. So if you are low on storage, you should definitely go for the JPEG file format. Personal use. I myself am a photographer and my personal preference is to JPEG images, because I don't have enough time for post-production of my every photograph. While I am shooting in casual situations, I prefer JPEG mode. And when I am outside shooting nature and landscape, I prefer raw format because it provides me the flexibility to get the perfect exposure every time and get the perfect composition. 7th, continuous shooting. If you're shooting a live sports action or you're shooting a continuous action area where there's movement every moment, then you should go for JPEG format because raw images require a lot of time to be written on your memory card as they are larger in size than JPEG images. So JPEG images will provide you continuous shot and they will have lower buffer time than raw images. So while considering all the 7 points, my opinion would be to go with the raw file format because it provides you with the flexibility to post-product your image and you can set your exposure according to the needs. So this was the whole video. Hope this video provided you with some useful information, and if you like this video, leave a thumbs up and don't forget to share this video with your friends. So this is me, Guru, signing off.